Today's video is going to be a little bit different than the typical videos that I've been doing. Usually I talk about, a topic and try to give you some ideas and some tips and some education into that topic. But today I'm going to ask a little bit of you, the viewer, if you don't mind. So what I'm going to talk about and what I'm going to ask you about today is, how do you listen to music? And it's going to be wide-ranging and pretty much all-encompassing. You can get as specific as you want or not. And what I mean by the question, how you listen to music, can mean many different things. So, are you predominantly streaming your music now? If so, which service are you using? Do you like curated playlists, or you like making your own playlists up? Or you just like putting a random genre on and listening for hours? Do you still prefer CDs or vinyl? I'd be interested in hearing your thoughts and how you tend to get your music. What's the predominant source of music? These days it is typically streaming services, but, other than people saying, this is what I use, it's nice to get a little bit of detail of how you use these services. Now, another thing I'd like to know is, what is your typical manner of listening to music? Is it background? Do you put it on a low level while you're working around the house or working from home? Do you tend to, when you're cleaning or something, you crank the tunes up and dance around the house? Or when you listen to music, are you really focused and in depth with it? Do you turn the lights off listening in the evening, get yourself your favorite adult beverage and relax and really focus on the music? Or do you tend to, like I said, just have background music going all the time? Or do you do a combination of both of them? I'd really enjoy hearing about how you listen to music. And I'd also like to know how many systems you have. And this goes, I guess, part and parcel to a certain extent with, whether you're predominantly background music or focused listening or a mix of both. How many systems do you have? Do you have a portable, Bluetooth or wireless speaker that you use for background music or listening out on the patio or the deck? Do you have a small system in your living room or kitchen that tends to provide the tunes in those areas of the house, and then a serious, audio room or dedicated 2-channel stereo system somewhere else in the house? All these details I'm really interested in because, as I talk to more and more customers as the years go on, I'm always fascinated by some of the installs that people have and some of the ways that they tend to listen to music. Music's a very individual and particular thing. Just like there are, millions of types of music out there, and people have their own preferences, what I like, you might not like, and vice versa, right? Or we may like the same thing. It's a very personal choice. So just to give you, in case you're interested, I'll answer a couple of those questions I've posed to you guys and gals, and hopefully, you'll write in and tell us in the comments below how you consume your music, what type of music even you like to listen to, whether it's predominantly background, and how many systems you have and how you use them. So for our household, as anybody knows me, knows I'm predominantly a vinyl guy. And if I'm going to sit down and seriously listen to something, it's 90% of the time going to be listening to the LP. Now, that doesn't mean that I don't like background music. If I'm working at home or just relaxing and I don't want to have to pay too detailed attention to what I'm listening to, I love both streaming services and free web radio stations. I'll listen to jazz, alternative, there's all kinds of things. And I have my favorite channels. That's something else you might want to share if you have specific playlists you love on your streaming services. Or web radio stations. Everybody's always interested in hearing what other people are listening to. In terms of systems, I have one big stereo-only system. It's It's pretty massive. It's a couple equipment racks, and it is a focal point of our main living area. But then again, our main living area is where we live. And because music is almost always playing, it is something people are used to. Hey, Andrew's an audio guy. He's going to have a big system, and you're going to see it when you walk in the front door. I have a smaller home theater system in our master bedroom, which is where the only TV or the only main TV is in the house. And, I like TV and I like movies, but I would say I probably listen to a lot more music than I do, watching television programs or films. In addition to that, I have an Axiom Air that's outside in our screen room, which at this time of year, we're in June of 2020 when this video is being shot. It's now full-on bug season where I live. So it's lovely to be able to sit outside with a cold drink, a cool breeze, and music on my Axiom Air, sitting out protected in the screen room from the bugs. Now, I also have a battery in my Axiom Air, so we do bring it down to our dock and listen at a low level because I'm not one of those people that wants to piss off the neighbors. So, we'll, when it's quiet on the lake, we love going and just putting some background tunes on and having a beer down at the dock. But in terms of how I listen, I would say that when I sit down to have a serious listening session and I want to focus on some new records that I've just bought and really absorb them if I haven't heard the music in detail before, sometimes I'll just preview it on a streaming service and then buy the vinyl. I tend to actually dedicate an afternoon, usually on the weekend, and I'll listen to 3 or 4 albums all the way through. The rest of the time, though, during the week and in the evenings, it typically is background music, and it may not be background in level, it's just something usually that I don't have to choose. And that's why I love playlists on streaming services, and I also really love good web radio stations. So again, let me know how your systems are configured, what you use at home, what you listen to, and how you listen, and we can start a conversation. And if there's interest, we can go into more detail in some of these aspects in future videos. So thanks a lot for watching.